Um, so, good evening po dyan sa Pilipinas. And thank you for joining us here at Gurong Pinoy. This is Civil Service Examination Review for Philippine Constitution. I'm Alex po, your coach for this evening. Actually, it's 5 in the morning here in the US. So, pasensya na po if medyo bagong gising yung dating natin. So, we are live at Facebook. So, we have so many participants here all over the country, and I guess from other parts of the country also. So, before we begin, let's check first. We have here from Marikina, NCR. Then from Ozamis City, joining us from Biliran, the island of Guimaras. Kumusta ang mga paho da? Then from Kalibo, Aklan, Cuyo, Palawan, Tugigaraw, Pulangi, Albay, Davao de Oro. Then we have from Iloilo. Oh. Then Dipolog, Tugigaraw. Oh, someone from Escalante City. Mayong gabi dira. Mayong gabi. Then we have from Samar, also from Samal Island. That's in Davao, right? Leyte, from Bohol. Greetings from Bohol, from Davao, from Negros Occidental, Borongan, Eastern Samar. Then we also from Camiguin Island. I want to visit there someday. Then from Bukidnon and from Iligan City. Okay? So welcome po sa ating Gurong Pinoy Civil Service Exam Review for Philippine Constitution. We also have participants from Cotabato and Surigao. So this is my first time actually na gumamit ng ganitong platform because over the years I'm with Gurong Pinoy since before pandemic pa. And I'm usually coaching sa LET at saka sa ganito civil service. So in the early years of Gurong Pinoy, I'm with them. I'm with them already. And this is my first time to use this platform. And this is also the first time that I'm out of the country. So currently po, I am based here in the US. I am US-based teacher teaching social studies here in the US. So before we start, acknowledge po muna natin yung ating mga participants coming from Zamboanga, Sibugay. We also have from Oriental Mindoro, Jensan, Bacoor, Cavite, Eastern Samar. So welcome po. So yung magiging platform po natin is that I'll be showing possible questions that would come out during the exam, and we'll try to understand one another. Kasi yung Philippine Constitution po, it's very important because as soon to be, kasi yung goal naman natin why we are taking exams for the civil service is to work in the government. So it's really important that we have that basic knowledge about how the government operates. So technically, when we say Philippine Constitution, this is to help us understand how our government in the Philippines operates. And so as workers in the government, soon to be workers in the government, at ang yung iba sa atin are actually working in the government, it's really important that we have this basic knowledge about Philippine Constitution. So Yes po. I'd like to formally introduce myself. I am Mr. Alexander Morillo Jr. I am a managing partner of ANA Education Consultancy. This is under the ANJ International LLC based here in Phoenix, Arizona, USA. You can screenshot your screen so that you could save our email address. We are a third partner consultancy here in the US, helping Filipino teachers who would like to teach here in the US. So back in the Philippines po, I am a PRC licensed professional teacher. Nandito po sa US, I am an Arizona Education Proficiency Assessment passer, and I am a certified professional secondary teacher for social studies by the Arizona Department of Education here in the United States of America. Okay, so you can screenshot po our email address if you want, and yeah, we could help you. Okay, so we have here also watching from Katipunan. Okay, so we also have from Bacoor, Cavite. So welcome po sa ating session for Philippine Constitution. So sa mga first time takers po natin, yeah, ano lang po talaga, you really need to read a lot. Napakaraming online sources, may mga books available. At saka sa mga second, third time takers natin, mahalaga po that we familiarize the kind of questions and how we I mean how the questions are patterned, the content. Kasi when we say exams like this, for example, LEP, licensure examination for teachers, or let's say the civil service exam, you don't exactly know what will really come out kasi these kind of tests measures the things that we have learned since we started schooling. So kumbaga it's competency based. So how much have we learned throughout our education process? So that is why yung tip ko talaga whenever someone would take a licensure exam like LET for instance, or let's say for example civil service exam, like the moment you enter college, dapat ano na, goal mo yung licensure exam. Kung education student ka, first year college ka pa lang, dapat ano na, you're preparing yourself for the licensure examination for teachers. Because, sometimes, may mga reviews, ganyan, pero iba pa rin if you went through the process of understanding contents like this. Like in my case, when I took the LET, I wasn't able to review, but my technique was that throughout my college years, I really painstakingly studied hard. So yeah, I took the LET without review and I passed it for the first time. Same is true here when I took the assessment for educators here in Arizona. The funny thing is all questions are situational and it's US based. And bago lang ako dito sa US, so I don't really have an idea how things are going on here. What I did is just I stick on what I have learned, and kasi situational siya, common sense lang kasi I've been a teacher in the Philippines for 10 years. So stick lang talaga, and yeah, luckily I passed the exam and I even surpassed the national benchmark ng US. So yeah, what I'm trying to tell you is that our education system in the Philippines is really competent kasi yeah, we were able to pass exams set by other countries. So yeah, that's why I'm now a certified professional secondary teacher here in the US, and my focus is social studies. Okay? So yeah, sa mga first timer po, read a lot, napakaraming mga sources. Okay po? So let's start. Um, Bakit kailangan nating pag-aralan ang Philippine Constitution? Why? Because it should be able to help you understand and protect your rights, respect the rights of others, and safeguard democracy. So, as soon to be and as present time workers of the government, um, so yung mga government employees dito, 'di ba, every flag raising ceremony, we recite the panunumpa ng mga kawani ng gobyerno. So, napakabigat ng mga sinusumpaan natin every day. And yeah, um, that's why we really need to have a deep knowledge of what Philippine Constitution is. So, yun po, it's really important that as workers of the government or even as Filipino citizens, we truly understand Philippine Constitution. So, yep, it's 8:17 there now in the evening in the Philippines. So 5:17 in the morning ngayon dito sa amin. So yeah, shout out Sir Rodjen Humalon. Rulog, pa-shout out po. Yeah, hi. Good luck sa iyong exam. We'll try our best to, coach you. And this will be 2 days. Today, Philippine Constitution. Tomorrow, it's general info about Constitution and history and geography. So, yes. All right. Oh, sorry, girl. Sorry. Miss Rodjen. I didn't see. I'm sorry. Yeah, bagong gising. All right. So, yeah. So, if you're ready, if you have your pens there, your notes there, we'll start in a few seconds. Okay. So, thank you po, Gurong Pinoy. 10 years na stop and schooling ko dahil naging isang ina. Okay, na-delay naman po pag-aaral ko. Yeah, ganun po talaga. Sometimes there are different roads we take in life, but yeah, if my persistence, patience, and perseverance, yeah, we could reach our dreams. In fact, when I was still a school head back in the Philippines, meron kaming ginawa namin sa mga parents namin kasi mostly of them hindi nakapag tapos even elementary, so we launched the ALS program. And before I left the country, 38 of our parents nakapasa sa ALS. So it's never too late for us to pursue our dreams kasi we Filipinos value our education so much. It's a common Asian trait, actually, like how we value our education. I think it's something to do with how our parents raise us, because here in the U.S. you could really see uh, a, a clear distinction between Asians and someone who grew up here in the US kasi iba yung level of commitment natin when it comes to education. So yeah, Mom Jackie and Baby Shy. Yeah. So it's never too late to pursue our dreams as long as we value our education. Okay, so yeah, we also have someone joining us from Kalinga province, Quirino province. Yeah, I think this will be recorded in the Facebook Live. So, okay po. So, let's begin. Okay? So, the first question po is that what do you call the introductory part of the Constitution? If magaling po ang inyong social studies teacher from grade 7 to 10, or when you go to college, first year, usually Philippine government and constitution, uh, ito po ay subjects sa first year. I don't know now kasi binago nila yung curriculum, but yeah, back in my college days, ito po ay tinuturo first year college. So the introductory part of the Constitution, ito po yung pinapamemorize po ito eh. I could still memorize it, no? So pag sinabi nating introductory part of the Constitution, yes, tama po kayo, JC, Myla, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Mr. or Miss Baya, Miss Juvian, MJ, yes, tama. Tama po kayo. So the correct answer po is the preamble. So we, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of Almighty God in order to build a just and humane society and establish a government that shall embody our ideals and aspirations, promote the common good, conserve and develop our patrimony, and secure to ourselves and our posterity the blessings of independence and democracy under the rule of law and the regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace, do ordain and promulgate this Constitution. So, the correct answer po is preamble. So, yung preamble po, it sets the tone of the Constitution. Like, what's the country all about? So, kumbaga, ano yung mga paniniwala ng isang estado? So that's what the preamble is all about. And just a trivia, it's only the Constitution of the Philippines that mentions the word love. So trivia po yan. It's only the our Constitution that mentions the word love. And that's something that probably separates us as a people. Okay. So for question number 2, what form of government does the Philippines adopt? So we have A, Republican, B, Democratic, C, neither A or B, or D, both A and B. Okay po. Comment your answer po. Okay. So, napakadaming comments. Okay. Sige po. Let's try. Yung mga questions like this po, that yung may mga neither A or B, both A and B, it requires analysis. And pag sinabi nating when it comes to tests that requires analysis, mahalaga po that we are wide readers. Napakahalaga po yan, that we are wide readers, especially in subject like Philippine Constitution. It's really important that we have read much about it. So it's in our Declaration of Principles and State Policy in the Philippine Constitution. Sinasabi that Philippines is a democratic republican state. Philippines is a democratic and republican state. Sovereignty resides in the people. So the correct answer po for number 2 is letter D. Both po. We're democratic and at the same time we're republican. Democratic because the power the power resides in the people. So direct po yung pag-vote natin sa ating mga government official is through popular voting. So that makes us democratic. Republican in a sense that we elect our representatives. So we elect our representatives, so that makes us Republican. Okay, we choose our representatives. That's why our country, our official name is called Republic of the Philippines. Okay? So, tama pong answer is letter D. Okay? So, it's letter D. Okay? Tama po ba kayo? So, let's just remember that our form of government is democratic republican. Well, anyway, i-discuss natin mamaya ang different forms of government. We have questions here that could help us understand. Okay? So number three, yeah, sugo ng dayuhan. Yeah, dapat pala both. Yes, dapat both. Okay. So it's okay. It's okay. That's why we have reviews like this. So, what is the power of the state to take private property for public use upon payment of just compensation? Okay. Number three. Okay. Comment your answer po. Okay. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. So the correct answer po is letter D, power of, or I mean the right of eminent domain or power of eminent domain. So to take property for public use upon payment of just compensation. So for example, if yung yung ano mo, yung lupa mo, if you live near beside the road, pagkatapos magkakaroon ng road widening yung government. So hindi pwede na the government would just do such project. Kailangan po ng process diyan para matake ng government ang property provide for public use provided that may just compensation po. Ano po yung just compensation na sinasabi natin? This is a payment for your property that was taken for public use. And yung courts po natin, yung korte, yung courts natin, yung nagdi-determine. It's the court that determines the amount for just compensation. So this power of the state to take private property for public use upon payment of just compensation is called po power or right of eminent domain. Okay po? Alright. So, again, yung technique po natin dito is to read, 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 read. Okay? Kasi pag marami kang readings, of course, when you encounter questions that requires analysis, you will be confident in your answers. Okay po? Okay. For number four, who among the following may issue a warrant of arrest or a search warrant? Is it a senator, a judge, a congressman, or the president? Sige, comment your answers po. Mhm. Yung nag-i-issue ng search warrant or warrant of arrest. Okay, just comment your answers. And thank you for participating. So I hope hindi pa po kayo naaantok. I know it's already, I mean, it's 8:31 in the evening there. Okay, so the correct answer po is yes, correct, Ma'am Robilin. It's the judge. It's letter B that can issue warrant of arrest or search warrant. Uh, The thing that we should remember about warrant of arrest or search warrant is it should be specific. The person to be arrested, dapat specific siya. Ay hindi po na sa isang warrant marami, just one person. Also with the search warrant, if that property needs to be searched so that uh, since yung property na yan affects public safety, so dapat specific din, specify ng courts natin through the judge kung ano yung is-search na property. Okay? So, yeah, it's the judge. Nag-change na po yung weather dito sa Arizona from winter transitioning to summer. So, yeah, kapag bago ka pa lang dito, it really affects your, you know, respiratory aspect. So, yeah, kasi arid yung uh, climate dito. So, dry yung wind. So, yeah, madalas nangangati yung lalamunan ko. Okay, so yeah, correct po. It's letter B, the judge. Now let's go to number 5. A foreigner may acquire Filipino citizenship through. Okay, comment your answers po. A foreigner may acquire Filipino citizenship through. Okay, comment po. Okay. So, dinalagsan na po tayo ng mga comments. Okay, so yes, the correct answer po is through naturalization. So, if yung mga, let's say for example, nauuso ngayon yan yung mga naghahanap ng AFAM, you know, or let's say for example, they have significant one na foreigner. So, and this foreigner wants to become a Filipino citizen. So, mag-undergo po siya ng process of naturalization. So, that alien should apply to our courts, the process of naturalization. There are certain requirements that this foreigner would comply for so that maging Filipino citizen siya. So, yeah. Pero what if po, for example, pinanganak ka dito sa US na Filipino yung parents mo? What would be your citizenship? If pinanganak ka sa US, pero yung both parents mo Filipino, what do you think would be the citizenship of that child? Sige nga, comment po kayo. Pinanganak ka sa US, tapos both parents mo are Filipino citizens. Okay? Comment your answer po. Okay. Okay. It's a nice topic. Yeah. So, if both parents mo are Filipino citizens, tapos pinanganak ka dito sa US, technically you will be a US citizen. Okay? US citizen ka. But, but, should you come to age, should you come to the right age, you can be a dual citizen. A dual citizen. Pero yung parents mo na Pilipino, if they wanted to transition from Filipino citizen to permanent resident, that's what we call the green card holders. And then later on, after having a green card, apply for US citizenship. So that's how your parents can transition. Pero kung ikaw na pinanganak ka dito sa US having both Filipino citizens uh, parents, magiging US citizen ka kasi it's in the constitution of the US na anyone, anybody na pinanganak sa teritoryo ng US will acquire US citizenship. Okay po? So, but should you come to age, yeah, you can apply for dual citizenship kasi wala pong kontrol ang ating batas sa citizenship laws ng ibang country. Okay? But kung foreigner ka, so may mga partners dyan na foreigner, if you want to apply to become a Filipino citizen, the process po is naturalization. Okay? Iba naman po yung ethnicity ha. Iba yung ethnicity sa citizenship. Kasi pag sinabi nating race/ethnicity, it's something to do with your biological characteristics and your ties to your home country. So like, for example, ako, pag tinatanong ako dito kung ano yung race or ethnicity ko, sinasabi ko Asian. And when they ask me about my citizenship, I would say I'm a Filipino citizen, but my ethnicity, my race is Asian. Okay? Okay. So, yeah, tama. US, jus soli sila. So, or jus lucay. So, ibig sabihin nito, yung citizenship is acquired through the place of birth. Kasi tayo mga Filipino, ang citizenship natin is through blood. That's what we call jus sanguinis. Okay? So, tama po kayo, Ma'am Vanessa. Okay? So, now let's move on to number 6. I think this is very easy. The right to vote is also known as, comment your answers po. Right to vote is okay. Right to vote. Our right to vote. Okay, so obviously this is called suffrage. No? Our right to vote is called suffrage. So it's one of our political rights, no? Right to vote, then right to run for a public office. Isa rin po yan sa ating mga political rights. So yes, correct po kayo. Yes, Ma'am Maylene Palabrica, correct answer. Ma'am Annalyn Diaz, Ma'am Tess, Ma'am Myla, Ma'am Michelle, Zilka, tama po, Miss Ciara, tama. Yeah, it's suffrage, okay? So let's not confuse with the term kasi yung ano may mga ano yan, may mga questions like this na nilalagyan nila ng ano ng mga pang-confuse na mga answers. So let's say for example, nilagyan nila ng let's say for example, vote. So suffrage A, suffrage B, nilagyan nila ng election. something like that. So let's not be confused, no? Kasi yung election po, it's the whole process, but the suffrage po is the individual right. Question James Bolongan, political rights pag meron, tama po ba? Depende yan sa stem ng question natin. No, depende yan sa stem ng question natin. Pero pag may political rights and may suffrage, yung answer is suffrage pa rin kasi marami pong form of political rights. Political rights is quite general. But kasi pag sinabi nating political rights, tayo as individual, we have also the right to run for public office. So it's one of our political rights. But the right to vote, the act of voting is what we call suffrage. Okay po? All right, so let's move on to question number 7. This is very easy. We just had our election last May. So how many senators are there in the Senate? Number 7, comment your answers po. Okay, so the correct answer po is B, 24 senators. And yeah, may terms po sila. So mayroong midterm elections na sinasabi natin that every midterm elections nagpapalit po tayo ng senators. So 12, then another 12, so that makes it 24. Okay? So number 8. Oh, number 8 po. Ito, mga minor detail lang to, pero minsan lumalabas sa exam. What is the minimum age requirement of a senator? Minimum age po ng isang gustong magpatakbo or gusto maging senator. Sometimes these kind of questions, this kind of information may not that be relevant, pero minsan lumalabas talaga siya sa exam. So the question here is, bakit po may age requirement? Well, simple lang sagot dyan, something to do with maturity. No? Though maturity comes in at different points of our life, no? Kasi there are research that studies, there are researches that says that maturity comes with life experiences, but not of age. Pero ang pinaka-objective po na safeguards natin when it comes to maturity with regard to public official is the age. So the correct answer po for number 8, it's letter D, 35 years old. So for you sa mga gusto maging senator dyan, no? So the first requirement is you should be 35 years old. So if tatakbo akong senator ngayon, I'll be disqualified because of the age requirement. Okay, so the correct answer is letter D. Now let's move on to number 9. Which of the following bills do not originate from the House of Representatives? Yung House of Representatives po natin, tinatawag natin itong lower house. This is part of the Congress of the Philippines. So, yung trabaho po ng Congress natin, this is a lawmaking body. So lahat ng mga batas po, ng mga Republic Acts, ganyan, nanggagaling sa ating Congress, both in lower house, the House of Representatives, and the upper house, the House of Senate. Kasi bicameral po tayo. So our Congress is patterned sa Congress ng United States. So mayroong upper house and lower house. So, for question number 9, saan po dito ang hindi galing sa House of Representatives? So, tama po kayo sa answer nyo, Miss Edgy Gabriel. Miss ba? Miss Edgy, no, na amnesty kasi yung presidente lang po ang I mean, it's the president who can issue amnesty, and usually these are given to people who are deprived of liberty. Okay? So amnesty is usually given to people who are deprived of liberty, and at the same time those who had rebelled against the government. Okay? So tama po kayo, amnesty is hindi po ito nanggagaling sa ating Congress. Okay? So let's move on to question number 10. Okay, this is quite interesting. Pero I know fresh pa ito kasi we just had our election last May. The members of the lower house, which is also called the House of Representatives. Tandaan po natin yan when we say lower house, this is our House of Representatives. Kaya nga, kung minsan, isa sa mga, shall I say, maling term na ina-associate natin sa ating mga members of House of Representatives is congressman. Usually we call them congressman. But technically, when we say Congress, it refers to both houses, the House of Senate and the House of Representatives. But naging ano na, kumbaga it's within na default na no na pag sinabi nating members of the House of Representatives, si congressman yan. So technically, pag sinabi nating congressman or woman, it refers to both senator and House of Representatives members. So let's not be confused when it comes to technicalities kasi pag sinabi nating House of Representatives, tawag natin sa kanila is the correct address or title that we could give to them is representative. Representative from the district or party list. So the correct answer po, yes, it's letter C, elected by district and party list. So let's say, for example, the province of Negros Occidental, where I come from. So it's divided into several districts, and sometimes ang isang district will be composed of 3 cities. May mga districts naman na tinatawag nating lone district because may mga population requirement po yan for one to become a political district. So each district po will have to elect one representative. Now, ano naman po yung mga party list? So our constitution provides that the marginalized groups should also be represented in the Congress. So who are these groups? Let's say the farmers group, the workers group, women rights group, LGBT rights group, teachers group, grupo ng mga manggagawa, grupo ng mga drivers, yung iba nga meron pa mga grupo ng mga security guards. So our constitution provides for this group to have representation in our Congress. But yeah, sad to say, minsan observe natin yung ibang nagre-represent ng mga party list na ito are not even members of that marginalized group. Okay? That's why may mga usapan ngayon sa Congress natin if shall we continue the party list group or shall we try to make more safeguards that it should, give the essence of representation sa mga marginalized group na ito. Okay? So, the members of the lower house are, ano po ba sila? Elected by region and by party list, elected by region and appointed by the president, elected by the district and party list, elected by district and appointed by the senator. So the correct answer po natin is letter C. So based on our experience, no, we experienced this. Correct answer is letter C. They are elected by district and party list. Okay? So it's letter C. Okay, let's check po. Okay. So yeah, it's letter C. Okay. So tandaan po natin, members of the lower house, we call them House of Representatives, they are elected by district and party list. Okay? Okay, next po. The legislative power of the government shall be vested in legislative power. Is it the president, the Congress, Supreme Court, or all of the above? Okay, comment your answer po. Legislative power. Okay. Okay, nakikita ko iba-iba yung answers natin. Okay. Sige. Mhm. Legislative power. Okay. So, pag sinabi nating legislative power, ito po ay tumutukoy sa kapangyarihan ng ating pamahalaan na lumikha ng batas. It's the power of the government to create laws. And this power of the government to create laws, gumawa ng batas, is vested upon the Congress of the Philippines. So it's not the president who have the legislative power. It's not the Supreme Court who has the legislative power, but it's the Congress po. Yung Congress po ng Philippines, it's bicameral. Ibig sabihin may dalawang part siya. May dalawang houses, the House of Senate and the House of Representatives. So sila po yung tagagawa ng batas. Yung tagapagpatupad ng batas, itinatawag nating executive. Tama, Miss Mary Rose Natividad Pereira. Okay? So, president, tama po kayo pag nang sinabi niyong executive kasi yung president tagapagpatupad ng batas. At saka yung Supreme Court naman or judiciary, ito yung tagapag-interpret ng batas. Alongside with the lower court, sila po yung nang-i-interpret ng batas. Pero yung tagagawa po ng batas, the legislative power, is vested upon the Congress. Okay? So let's not be confused po sa tatlong kapangyarihan ng government natin. We have the executive, the legislative, and the judicial or the judiciary. Okay? So executive po, tagapagpatupad, the president, and with his cabinet secretaries kasi alter ego po ng president yung kanyang mga cabinet secretaries. Pag sinabi nating alter ego, kumbaga they represent or the power of the president is delegated to them to handle a certain department. Kagaya for example, kagaya po ng Department of Public Works and Highways. So, merong secretary yung president po na siyang sole function is for the department. So, nagpapatupad po sila ng mga batas at mga programa na sinasaad ng batas. So, that's executive. But legislative power, it falls down to, or it's vested upon the Congress po. Okay? So, the correct answer is letter B. Okay? Let's move on to number 12. Okay, which of the following may disqualify a person for the presidency? So the correct answer po is, which do you think for number 12? Okay. Comment your answers. Na-notice ko lang first to comment palagi si JC. Si JC yung first to comment. Okay. For number 12. Okay, so the correct answer po for number 12 is letter B. He lived abroad 5 years preceding the election. Kasi yung sinasabi po ng ating constitution, dapat 10 years siyang nanirahan dito sa Philippines. I mean, dyan sa Philippines prior to the election. So, you'll be disqualified. Okay? So, sa mga nag-answer ng C, he has Filipino parents but was born in the United States. Tinalakay po natin to kanina that yung laws ng Philippines, I mean the citizenship laws of the Philippines do not have a control over the citizenship laws of other countries. Yeah, pinanganak siya dito sa US, pero when he comes of age, that person chose to be a Filipino citizen, then he is a Filipino citizen. Okay? Yeah, tama kayo, Ma'am Mary Rose. At least 10 years na nakatira sa Philippines prior to the election. Okay? Makakapasa talaga to si Ma'am Mary Rose. Okay, let's move on. Number 13. Which of the following shows the transfer of power should the president be incapable of discharging his or her duties? Number 13. Saan po dito yung proper order natin? Proper order po natin, should the president be incapable of discharging his duties? Okay. All right. So, tingnan natin yung letter D. President, Vice President, House Speaker, Senate President. Kung naalala nyo kanina, sinabi ko na yung Congress natin has the upper house and the lower house. So, ang isa sa mga features na dapat natin tandaan when we talk about the Philippine government is that it's highly centralized and hierarchical. So we have the upper house and the lower house. So if you choose letter D, President, Vice President, and House Speaker and Senate President, it goes against the hierarchical centralized feature of our government kasi nga may upper house and lower house. So for question number 13, the correct answer po is letter A. So should the president become incapable, the vice president will take over. And should the vice president is not also capable, the Senate president will also take over. And for instance that the Senate president is also incapable, it goes to the House of Representatives. I mean, the House Speaker. So tandaan po natin na yung leader ng House of Senate is called the Senate President, and the leader of the House of Representatives is called the House Speaker. Currently po, the Senate President, is it Mig Zubiri, our current Senate President? Tama po ba? Please comment po, nakalimutan po. Is it Senator Zubiri, yung ating Senate President. Okay, tama, tama. And yung speaker natin ngayon, um, I forgot the House Speaker. Sino ba yung House Speaker natin ngayon? Yung House Speaker natin. Yeah, okay. Martin Romualdez. Okay. Tama, tama. Martin Romualdez. So we have President Marcos, Vice President Sara Duterte. Then we have Mig Zubiri, Senator Mig Zubiri. Then we have Martin Romualdez, representative from, taga saan ba siya? Uh, Tacloban? Okay. So yeah, that's the chain of power, no? Chain of power po 'yan. So that's how it functions. Okay, kasi hierarchical po tayo. Okay, yes, at least tama po ako, naalala ko. Yeah, so Romualdez. Okay. Okay. Yes, thank you po. Thank you. Tacloban. Tama, Tacloban. Romualdez, Tacloban. Okay. So, let's move on po to question number 14. A member of the Supreme Court it talks about the qualification. So, yung mga questions po na ganito, yung cut siya, usually you have first to go through the options. Please go through the options po. Kasi minsan it asks for let's say for example, qualifications or characteristics. So after you read the stem of the question, go over po tayo sa mga options. Okay? Don't rush immediately. So a member of the Supreme Court, Supreme Court kinat siya. So ano ba? A, must have been a judge of a lower court for 15 years or more. B, must have been a judge of the Court of Appeals for 10 years. Must not be a member or may not be a member of the Philippine Bar or may be a naturalized citizen. Okay? So, sinasabi sa ating constitution na dapat yung maging members ng Supreme Court natin must have this rich experience, no? Must have a rich experience as a lower court judge for at least 15 years or more. Okay? So yun po yung sinasabi ng ating constitution. And it's quite ironic if you choose letter C kasi may not be a member of the Philippine Bar. I mean, how can you interpret laws if you have not studied law? I mean, if you're not a lawyer by profession, right? So maybe a naturalized citizen, guys and mga moms and sirs, let's all remember po that pag mga key government position, bawal po ang mga naturalized citizen, dapat po natural born Filipinos. Must have been a judge of Court of Appeals for 10 years. This is quite confusing, no? Pero yun nga sinabi ko kanina, you should have read as much kasi some options may appear correct, and if hindi ka nakapagbasa, talagang makukonfuse ka. So the correct answer po is letter A, must have been a judge of a lower court for 15 years or more. Okay po? All right. So let's move on to question number 15. Okay. So the Supreme Court is composed of letter A, a Chief Justice and of 14 Associate Justices. Letter B, 2 Chief Justices and 14 Associate Justices. Letter C, Chief Justice and 12 Associate Justices. And letter D, Chief Justice and an indefinite number of Associate Justices. Saan po yung pinaka tamang answer dito. Mhm. Okay? So, yung Supreme Court po natin, it's composed of justices and yung leader nila ay tinatawag nating Chief Justice, but sila pong lahat ay equal. Equal po yung kapangyarihan nilang members ng Supreme Court. And yung principle po dyan ay tinatawag nating primus inter pares. So, yung members dyan are all equal, at saka yung Chief Justice, yung leader nila, but it doesn't mean na yung Chief Justice is higher in terms of power compared to them, kasi all of them have one voting right. It's just that the Chief Justice is the first among the equals. So that's what we mean by primus inter pares. Primus inter pares, so first among the equals. Why? Because these justices have equal voting right, and that is only one voting right. Okay? So the correct answer po is letter letter A. So the correct answer is letter A. There are 15 members of the Supreme Court. So 14 associate justices and one chief justice. And I don't know who is our chief justice right now. Kilala niyo ba? Kilala niyo po ba kung sinong chief justice natin ngayon? Baka lumabas. Sino po yung chief justice natin? Hindi na ako updated. Please comment po. Oh, yeah. Tukayo ko pala. Sir ba or Ma'am JC? Alexander Gismundo. Katukayo ko. Thank you, JC. Okay. So, yan po. Supreme Court. Okay, Gismundo. Sir. Okay. Sir JC. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Brian. Yeah, Gismundo. Okay? Pakitandaan lang po yung mga yung mga natin. No. Secretary of Justice po si Boying Rimulya, Sanji, no? Yeah, he is the Secretary of Justice. Iba po yung Chief Justice. Kasi si Boying Rimulya, he is the Secretary of Justice under the Executive Department. So, yung Chief Justice, the Supreme Court is separate from the Executive Department. So, yeah, it's Alexander Gismundo. Okay, so let's move on. Which of the following is a constitutional commission? Number 16. Okay. Constitutional Commission. Constitutional Commission. Yeah, after your answers, we'll discuss what a constitutional commission is. Kasi merong mga confusions na nakikita. Meron akong confusions na nakikita based on your answers. Okay. Okay, I can see confusions from your answers na kino-comment nyo. Okay, constitutional commissions. Okay. All right. So marami po sa inyong nag-answer letter C, Civil Service Commission. This is quite confusing kasi it all ends with commission. But not all commissions are constitutional. What does it mean? Upon framing the 1987 Constitution, lumikha po dyan ng mga constitutional commissions na magsi-safeguard ng ng rights and liberties ng mga Filipino. So isa po sa mga based on our options, isa po sa mga constitutional commission na yan ay yung Commission on Human Rights. Okay? So, yung Philippine Commission on Good Governance, Civil Service Commission, Commission on Natural Resources, uh, yung B and C, these are not constitutional commission, but commissions created by the executive department. Okay? Created by the executive department. So yung Commission on Natural Resources, panggulo lang po yan dyan. Okay? So, correct me if I'm wrong. But there are, I think, three constitutional commissions. We have the Commission on Human Rights, Commission on Audit, and Commission on Election. Tatlo. Three constitutional commission. Just correct me if I'm wrong. You can search it now. But yeah, I think there are three constitutional commissions. Ginawa po ito to safeguard the rights of Filipino citizens. No? So again, sinasabi ko sa inyo, you must have read a lot when you are taking exams. Okay? Okay. No. Okay, so yung civil service, let's check. Okay. Okay, so sorry. So the constitutional commissions which shall be independent are Civil Service Commission, the Commission on Elections, and Commission on Audit. Sorry, my bad. Bagong gising. So yeah, the correct answer po based on our options. My bad. Correct. Is letter A. Sorry, letter C. The correct answer po is letter C. So, tatlo po yung create ng ating constitution. We have, and they are all independent. Okay? So, we have the civil service. Historically, yung civil service po, this originated in China. Historically. Kasi the purpose is to select the best employees to work in the government. So then later on, as history, progress and governments became modern, so ginawa po yung ating Civil Service Commission as an independent commission to safeguard government employees, to select the best employees that the government could have. And then we also have the Commission on Audit. This is making sure that funds are properly used. Okay? Funds are properly used. And then we have the Commission on Elections, technically, to safeguard our rights. So sorry for the confusion. Let's correct it. Sa mga bago lang po nag-join, let's correct it. Which of the following is the Constitutional Commission? Letter C po yung answer dyan. Yung Commission on Human Rights, create lang po yan later based on after na-create yung ating 1987 Constitution, experiences from martial law. So, create yung Commission on Human Rights. Same is true with, meron tayong PCGG, no? May function yan, no? So, yeah. So, I hope this is, ano po, this is cleared na. Tama kayo, Sir Rocky, meritocracy. Ano po ba yung meritocracy? Based on merits, no? Yung promotion should be based on merits. So ano po ba yung merits? Yung performance mo. So meron po tayong yearly performance sa mga government employees po diyan. Meron tayong yearly performance, right? So kung DepEd ka, meron kang IPCR, no? So, dyan po nabibase yung ating PBB, performance-based bonus. So, sino po yung nakatanggap ng ng PBB dyan? Okay. All right. So, let's move on to number 17. What branch of government has the sole right to initiate all cases of impeachment? Sabi ni Miss Vanessa, si Woody po ng China may kasalanan but mayroong CSC. All right, so for number 17, sige. What branch of government has the sole right to initiate cases of impeachment? Okay. In recent history po, we have witnessed several impeachment trials, right? The first one was during the impeachment trial of former President Erap Estrada. And then we have also witnessed the impeachment trial of the late former Chief Justice Renato Corona. So, saan po nag-o-originate yan? Or I mean, who can initiate the impeachment? The correct answer po among the four here is the House of Representatives. Okay? The House of Representatives. So, starts from the House of Representatives, then yung mga magkukonvene yung mga senator judge, and then, the process will go on. Yeah, we have witnessed that. Ang pinaka-recent po, I think, is of Chief Justice Corona. Okay, what if hindi effective ang pagbabasa, more on nood lang ng videos and discussion? We have different learning styles po. So if you are, let's say you're a visual learner. Ako, I'm a visual learner. So mas nakakaintindi ako if I could see images, so something like that. Just to answer Miss Secret talaga ha. Okay, so going back po, yeah, impeachment cases starts from the House of Representatives. Okay, let's move on po for number 18. Which of the following is not removable from office by impeachment? Which of the following is not removable from office by impeachment? Comment your answer po. Okay. So, which of the following is not removable from the office of, I mean, from office by impeachment? So, who are impeachable officers in the Philippines? So, sinasabi ng ating Philippine Constitution, the President, Vice President, members of the Supreme Court, members of the Constitutional Commission, the Ombudsman may be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of culpable violation of the Constitution, just like treason, bribery, graft and corruption, other high crimes, or betrayal of public trust. Okay, so based on what the Constitution says, sa ating mga options, yung hindi mai-impeach sa apat na ito ay, okay, letter D po. Kasi yung mga impeachable officers natin are the following: the President, the Vice President, members of the Supreme Court, members of the Constitutional Commissions, and the Ombudsman may be removed from the office. So, it's letter D. Okay? That's why yung iba nga, even though we have senators, based on recent history, we have senators who are even accused or who are even in prison that are still functioning as senator. Okay? So number 19. The national language of the Philippines is, ito medyo tricky ito. Okay, please comment your answers po for number 19. National language, the lingua franca. Okay? Okay, comment your answers po. The national language is, okay. All right, so iisa-isahin po natin. Okay. The national language of the Philippines is, if you answer letter A, mali po kayo kasi yung P na spelling is referring to the person, tayo, Pilipino. If you answer letter B, it's the term should be official languages. Our official languages are Filipino and English. So hindi po national. I mean, if the question is official languages, then letter B is correct. Pero pag sinabi nating national language, of course, let's not be confused with Tagalog and Filipino. Kasi dito sa US, yung mga, especially yung mga locals dito na may mga kakilalang Filipino, they would say, "Oh, you're from the Philippines, so do you speak Tagalog?" Something like that. And then ako naman, I would correct them like, "No, I speak Filipino." Tagalog is one of the dialects in the Philippines, but it has been one of the bases of Filipino language. Okay? So, ang ating lingua franca po, tinama po ito, no, I think we have this commission for Filipino language. So, the national language, the lingua franca of the Philippines is Filipino. Okay? Yes, tama po kayo, sugo ng dayuhan. Yung lingua franca, no, ang lingua franca po natin ay Filipino. Yung mga, let's say for example, yung Hiligaynon, yung Bisaya, yung salita sa Bicol, something like that. The different languages we speak in our provinces, respective provinces, is called our dialects. But sometimes it could also be um, qualified as language, you know. But technically, when we say national language, kasi pag sinabi nating national language, anywhere, any parts of the country, people can understand. So that's Filipino. That's Filipino. Yeah, Filipino. Okay. Um, Actually, isa ito sa mga things that people here in the US are amazed of us Filipinos because we can speak many languages. Like say pag tinatanong nila na, oh, so you're from the Philippines, so what do you speak? Yeah, I speak Filipino, but I can also speak several dialects. I can speak Ilonggo, I can speak Bisaya, something like that. So yeah. Okay, so let's move on po. Number 20. Who may propose any amendment to or revision to the Constitution? Who may propose?